Where to, guys?
This is our talk show.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was.
That's Brandon.
That's Zach.
And we got some things we're talking about. Kaplawi. This is actually going to be in. It's not going to be in reverse. I found out, so you guys will be able to read that. These are my Pokemon cards. Talking about Pokemon today.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Kicking it old school.
This is a bit old school. We didn't really get to talk about it in our 90s episode that we did a while back, so...
Because we had to have a full episode of just Pokemon.
That's right. We had exactly. I think we had to go back and watch that episode because I think we wanted to do some other things, like just talk about some different topics solely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so what's your favorite? I guess what was your favorite exposure to Pokemon? Because there was the show, there was movies and the cards and the games. So what was your favorite exposure to Pokemon?
Well, I got into Pokemon pretty young. I got into Pokemon from my babysitter's son, actually.
Okay.
He had a bunch of Pokemon cards, and that's actually how I inherited my Pokemon cards.
Right on.
He had a thick binder, and eventually he gave them to me, and then I started adding to the binder. So I started out with Pokemon cards, and then started getting into the games. The biggest game that really stuck with me, that got me to love Pokemon so much, was Pokemon Stadium.
That's awesome.
The
For the
greatest
Nintendo 64,
Nintendo
right?
64, greatest game ever made.
The thing is, you can
Pokemon.
still play that game today, and it still lasts as one of one of the really all-time fun games. That is so good. And this is too because they have essentially they have all the Generation 1 Pokemons in that game, right? So it's really cool that they made such a nice, good game.
It's nostalgic.
It is nostalgic.
You go to play it now and you just think of all the original Pokemon.
I always hated Gengar. Gengar was the most OP Pokemon in that game because you would just use Psychic and you would just murder everyone unless you were another Psychic Pokemon.
Yeah. It was nice. So what about you?
Myself, my favorite exposure to Pokemon, man, I have so many good memories. I'd say the cards are the most relevant memories that I have of Pokemon collecting, having, quite a bit of cards I used to collect, and I haven't collected anymore, but I just kind of keep them for fun. I'd say, and I love the video games too, my favorite of them being, I loved Pokemon Stadium. I probably put more hours into that than any other game, but I really enjoyed Pokemon Emerald, which was a Generation 2 game, I believe. And I don't know, I've played that game through probably 2 or 3 times. I just love I don't know, it was just I think it was in my opinion, it was one of the first kind of polished Pokemon games where they had already had a couple games previously, so they had enough time to make an actual legit, nice, good Pokemon game that people can play for a long time. So I like that a lot.
I think the other one, if you didn't get Emerald, was it Sapphire?
There was Emerald and Sapphire, which
they always come out with two.
They normally come out with 2. So there was Emerald and Sapphire, which were both related to Pokemon. Don't quote me on this, but they were Pokemon's Ruby as well. So there was Ruby, Emerald, and Sapphire.
Okay.
I think Ruby was the first one. So essentially, Ruby took a red storyline where you were with the red guys. Sapphire took a blue storyline where you were with the blue guys.
Yeah.
And Emerald was the game where you were independent of both parties and you helped both parties essentially.
Yeah.
So it was I think it was the first one where you could own both Groudon and the blue whale. Can't remember her name or its name. Anyway, put it up here.
Yeah.
That's the name of the Pokemon I'm trying to think of.
I remember playing Pokemon Diamond.
Okay.
It's not old school.
That was older than
it's still
Emerald.
kind of old now when you think about it.
Yeah.
It's probably 7 years old.
Was it older than Emerald? Maybe not.
It was for DS.
Okay.
So I had not original, but a DS Lite.
Mm-hmm.
But those came out, I think, 8 years ago or something. So
Right.
we were just growing up fast.
I said too. I never played Emerald necessarily on the DS or anything like that. Like I played it on an emulator on the computer.
Oh,
So like I was really late to Emerald. One of my former buddies and I, we just kind of, he played it and he showed it to me, and then I got into it and we would both just play together on our laptops for hours. So
Nice.
that was kind of how I got into it, kind of later into the scene. But
yeah.
Pokemon cards, I was very much into it.
So if, let's say Pokemon, real life. Right
Okay.
now you're a trainer.
I'm a trainer, yeah.
Would you go with water? Like your three basic.
What's my
three
basic
basic starters.
Pokemon?
Who would it be? Who would be your starter Pokemon?
Are we talking about Generation 1 or are we talking about any?
All of them.
All of them? Oh, okay, good.
Let's talk about all of them.
My favorite of all time Pokemon evolution is Trico, Grovyle, Sceptile.
Nice.
Put them all up there if you like images. Wow, look at them. Oh. And those are my favorite. Trico just being, I don't know, I think he's super cute, but I also think too that he's I don't know, kind of chill. He's a very like I like Trico not first from the games. I like Trico first from the TV show.
Yeah.
Because he was I think he was one of Ash's or Brock's Pokemon, one of the first ones that they got in the next generation.
He had
And he's
attitude
very-
though.
Yeah.
That's
That's
the
why
thing,
I liked
yeah.
him. He's kind of like this like attitude, like kind of like I'm top notch and
Yeah.
I'm cool guy. He had this cool guy thing. So I like that. I like that when I was watching the TV show. That's why he's my favorite. And what would be your pick for first evolution?
First evolution. I gotta go classic. Just I love my boy Squirtle.
Yeah.
Love my boy Squirtle just because the evolution phase when he gets into Blastoise is amazing.
Very
Like
cool.
look at him. Look at him. Look at him up
Whoa! Look at those cannons.
there. Blastoise.
So he does. Yeah, I was talking with one of my buddies recently, and he didn't realize that Squirtle isn't. It's not an abbreviation of the two words squirt and turtle. It's squirrel and turtle.
A squirrel turtle.
A squirrel turtle. So that's why he's
Well,
Squirtle.
War Turtle.
War turtle.
The
is-
second evolution.
Yeah, the second evolution.
He
That's,
kinda looks squirrely.
You mean the second evolution
Yeah.
of Well, he
A
looks
Squirtle,
squirrely.
yeah.
A Squirtle looks like a squirrel. That's why his tail's
Yeah.
all wrapped like that, right?
Yeah.
That's why he's a squirrel turtle. Then war turtle would be like a I don't know, kind of like I'm not sure if there'd be like a warthog turtle.
Maybe. He kinda looks more squirrely.
He does look squirrely too. He has
Yeah.
like the ears or like the big like spike things. So I get you. And what would that be your favorite Pokemon entirely then, or that's just
That would be-
your
that-
favorite like?
Evolution. That'd be
Evolution,
my favorite
yeah.
evolution.
That's my favorite Pokemon as of this moment. Slacking. You can...
My favorite Pokemon. Snorlax.
Snorlax. Forget to give him a lift. But yeah. Let us know what your favorite Pokemon are, because there's so many out there, and what kind of your exposure is to Pokemon. Because I think we can both agree that we were first probably introduced to the cards,
Yeah.
and then I got back into Pokemon a couple of years ago just with the video games. I thought they were so fun, and then and watching the TV shows when I was younger too. So I feel like it was cards in the TV show for me for a while, and then I didn't have this phase of Pokemon, and then got into the video games a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Let us know if you prefer the TV shows too.
Yeah.
You might prefer the TV shows over the cards, or the games over the TV shows,
Yeah.
and your favorite Pokemon.
Let's make this Pokemon like a
Let's make this Pokemon like a.
oh shoot. Let's make this I have Pokemon on the brain.
Let's make this episode.
Let's make this episode. I want to name a Pokemon. Let's make this episode like a oh, I was gonna say let's make this Pokemon damn it. Damn it. I was gonna say let's make this episode like a Fire Horse Pokemon in Rapidash. TGOTS go.